Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back to episode 3 of this secret series. As you can see from the title, my younger self will be so chuffed that we have the internet. And I want to go back to basics here and remind you and encourage you and activate you and reignite you maybe into finding a positive, exciting, purposeful relationship with your visibility, because it really is the heartbeat of your personal brand. Now, I know that we are in a situation right now where the news feels incredibly scary and heavy and difficult and challenging. And I honestly feel like every time I open my phone, I'm thinking, what am I going to see next? I know that it can feel like we're putting a lot of effort into our brand, but we're not being noticed, we're not being seen. It feels really exhausting. Maybe in terms of selling, it may be that you're just finding it really difficult to access and connect with those clients you know that would have just been knocking on your door 5 years ago. Finally, you may have a lot of other stuff that needs your attention behind the scenes in your actual life as well. So becoming visible, it really feels like it's the last thing. And then again, it perpetuates itself because you're not being visible, you're not growing your business, you're not creating the money you want to create, and it goes round and round. So I want to go back to the gratitude of the opportunities that we have and remind you that you can use these in any which way you want. You don't have to follow a system. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You don't have to be online 24/7. However, it's about finding those rhythms, those visibility rhythms that work for you. Firstly, I want to say my younger self would have been so delighted if we had the internet. And I definitely had way too much free reign of the TV. And automatically I think, oh my gosh, what if I'd had free access to the internet and social media as well? I know that there were many things that I did not see or experience until I moved to London at 18. I was growing up in a village outside a town, and although we traveled a little bit, I was probably quite sheltered, and I knew that I had such an appetite for seeing different things, and I was really curious, and I was that kid who always wanted to put my hand up. So the fact that we can find the answers to what it is that we have big questions, where our big questions lie, we have to ignite the joy of that. Like, what? I can just Google it. I can just ask a robot this. This is cool. So I want you to think about how you can activate that childlike curiosity within yourself. Number 2. I know that people flippantly say this about running an online business. If you've got a laptop and an internet connection, you can take over the world. And sometimes you think, yes, I get what you're saying, but I'm also in a period of life where, I don't know, you might be saying your partner hasn't got much work, or you've got 3 kids under 5 and they're all up all night and they're in your bed, and you've got a sick parent, and maybe there's all kinds of stuff going on. So it's not just you don't have the ability and the flexibility just to be like, wow, I've just got the internet and the connection. But sometimes going back to basics and approaching this in a different way is really important. And I love that I can create something on this that I'm recording on, or this phone that I have in my hand, and it has the potential to go viral. It has the potential to be viewed all over the world from people who are awake on my time zone or a different one, at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6 a.m. at night, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 3 a.m. in the morning. There are so many ways and opportunities that we have available to us. So I want you to notice where you are putting in blocks and saying to yourself that you can't do it. Likewise, in terms of overthinking the content, putting stuff in a big spreadsheet and thinking you've got to come up with 50 ideas. How about you come up with 5 ideas, film them or write them or talk about them, whatever it is that you do, and get them out there. Creating a content strategy to attract your ideal clients is not about perfectly doing something behind the scenes. It's about the response. It's almost like when people say, I'm going to create a perfect party, and then nobody comes. I mean, that's quite heartbreaking to think about. So I want you to think about how you can begin just to talk, just to share, just to put yourself out there. Almost with the confidence and the excitement that we did back in, 2005, 2006, where on a night out, I might share on Facebook all 284 pictures of a night out. I might put a Sigma filter on my fish and chips and be sharing that as a shareable moment. The great thing is right now is that we can still do that. We can share the behind the scenes of our lives and we can sell. We don't have to march up and down with a sandwich board around the streets of London in the rain hoping to sell. We don't have to invest in bricks and mortar. We don't have to go to the bank and ask for a business loan and prove that our little business is a great thing. We have all of that agency and we can begin to sell right now. And finally, what I want to say on this is I knew this and I've known this for a long time now. Back in 2013, I spent $2,000 with somebody I've never met. And I did something called B School, which was great. It was a great fit for me at the time. I knew nothing about digital marketing. I had no idea about an email list. I literally didn't know anything. And B School said, we do. So pay us. And there was a whole campaign and interviews and talking about B School. And I really thought long and hard about it. And a pal of mine, Lucy, we did it together and we were like, I can't believe we're going to spend this money with a stranger that we've never even met. And we're doing it all online. This person is in another country to us, another continent. What are we doing? And yet, since that moment of spending $2,000 in 2013, I've gone on again and again and again to invest in myself with people that I've never met in my life before. And this is just common now. Everybody is doing it. Lots of people do. We are in this global economy. This essentially is your pep talk to find a way to get your mojo back, to start small, to start simply, to do just one thing, but not to listen to the voices in your head that want to keep you small. They want to keep you safe. They want to stop you from doing anything. They want to keep you in judgment. What will people think of me? I don't know if I can do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And people need you and people are looking for you and they want to work with you right now. So stop hiding, put yourself out there, start small, and of course, you can add your accountability in the comments. If you haven't watched the full workshop, I will link it below. If you've logged in already, you just need to go to the login page on my website. If you haven't, you can go to the workshop section of my website and get instant access, and then you'll get instant access to all these secret episodes too. If you also are ready to absolutely go and do something and create your digital disco, and so you find that lovely ease and flow with your clients and customers and audience, once again, send me a message, or you can just log in. I will leave the details for your digital disco. There are 3 ways to join, and if you add magic at checkout, you can save 20%. Lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.